Hello all, welcome to the Cloud DevOps Guru channel. This is the Linux for beginners and DevOps engineers. This is Linux part 2. In this video, I will cover soft link and hard link. Next, we will cover the user management and group management. User and group management. Then, we will cover the VI editor. Let's begin the one by one. Yeah, hello guys. Welcome to the Cloud DevOps Guru channel. So today we are looking to the soft link and hard link. This is a small topic. So today we will discuss about the how to create the soft link and hard links in the Linux environment. Okay. So first we will understand what is the soft link and what is the hard link. Okay. Soft link is nothing but the shortcut file in the soft link is nothing but shortcut file which is linked to the main file. For example, in Windows, you install some application and you will create the some shortcut file on your desktop, or you created the some file and you create some shortcut file on that file shortcut on the your desktop. So that is nothing but the shortcut file in Windows. Say in the same way, we will create the shortcut file in the Linux also. So uh, if we create the shortcut file, it will link to the main file, means whatever content is present into the main file, that will be available into the shortcut file also. For example, you have the one file, for example one file, and it is create the one shortcut file, that is nothing but the link file. For example, I will create the two file is the name, one file is the name and two file is the name. Okay, whatever I will have the content into the one file, that will also redirect, that will also available into the two file. Okay, just we will know how to create the shortcut soft link in the our Linux environment. Okay, for creating the shortcut file, we will use the ln as the command. Okay, so let's see in the practical way how to create the shortcut file. First, I will create the one directory, mkdir practice as a directory. Go inside the practice directory, ls. We are not having any file. So first I will create the one file, touch. Our file is the one file, right? Enter, ls. So ls hyphen la, it will give the which file it is. Okay, it is a normal file. Hyphen means normal file. First, we will understand the types of file before creating the shortcut file. Okay, types of file. First, hyphen indicates it normal file. Okay, D indicates it's a directory. Okay, L indicates it's a link file. B indicates it's the block file. C indicates it's a character file. Okay, these are the types in the Linux environment. For example, now I had created the one file here, one file. So it's started with the hyphen means it's a normal file. If it is see here, it is started as the D, means it is a directory. It is also started as a D, it is a directory. For example, I will create one directory here, mkdir test is my directory. So just you can see here, now it is started with the D, means it is a directory. If it is started with the L, it is a link file. If it is started with the B, it is a block file. If it is started for with the C, it is a character file. Based on that, you can identify the which kind of file is there. Okay. Now I will create the link file to the one file. First, I will write some content into the one file. Okay. Vi, this is test file. Okay. Save and exit. Now I have the some content into the my one file. Now I will create the link for soft link. For creating the soft link, you have to use the ln hyphen s. To which file? Our one file. Now what is the name for that? Second file. For example, second file. Now you can check it is created or not. ls hyphen la. Now you can see your link file has created. It is started with the L, right? It has the full permission. Okay. Now we will see what is the content of the second file. Just I had created, right? So it's see whatever the data is inside the first file, one file, that same content will be in the second file, right? Now I will update into the one file. Vi one file. This is second line, for example. Save and exit. Now you can check is it available in the second file or not. Now you can see, means whatever you write into the first file, it will also looked into the your link file. And here is one drawback, means if your main file is broken, your shortcut file also broken. For example, I will delete the my first one file, rm1 file ls. Second file is showing inside the red because it is broken. Now you are not having the one file, then you can check the content of the second file. No such file or directory, means whenever our main file will be deleted, our link file also broken. Okay. Now we will understand the what is the hard link. Hard link. Hard link is used for create a backup file for main file. Like means we will create a hard link, means it will create a one second copy. For example, you have the one copy of file, it will create another one copy, means it is a separate copy. If you update it into the first file, it will update the content into the second file also. But if you delete the first file, it will not delete the second file, it will exist, means your data will be backed up. Okay. Now I will show you how to create the hard link in the Linux. You can use the ln for create the hard link. For creating the soft link, you have to use the ln-s, and for creating the hard link, just you can use the ln. For example, first I will create the one file, touch practice is my file. Okay, vi practice. I will enter. This is demo for hard link. Okay. Save and exit. Now I will create the hard link for it. ln practice hard link. Hard link. This is my file name. Okay. Now we will see the content of the practice hard link also, is it the same or not. Now see, this is the demo for the hard link. Now I will update into the practice hard link. This is the hard link, right? In the, if I update it into the hard link, will it update into the second in our main file or not? We will check. This is hard link file. Okay, save and exit. Now we will see the content of the our main file. Is it updated into the main file also? Means if you are write the data into the main file, or you can write into the data into the link file, it will sync in the both the file. But here is a main difference into the soft link and hard link. If you deleted the main file, for example, our main file is the practice, right? Now I will delete the practice file. rm practice ls-la. Our practice file is deleted, but our practice hard link is present. Now we will see, is it broken or not. It is not broken. It is the file is exist inside the our server. So if your main file is broken also, your means hard link file will be present inside the Linux server. Okay, this is the major difference between the soft link and hard link. Just here you can you can keep remembering just how to create the hard link file, how to create the soft link file. For creating the hard link, just you can use the ln, your file name, and your link file name. Okay, for creating the soft link, you can use the ln-s, same. But here is the major difference is, if you created a soft link, if you deleted the main file, your link file will be broken in the soft link. If you are created the hard link, your main file is broken, then also your hard link file will be present, and it will like a backup file. Okay, this is the major difference between the soft link and the hard link. Yeah, this is the small chapter. Thank you. Just we had learned today what is the soft link, what is the hard link, how to create the soft link, what is the major difference between the soft link and hard link. Today we will learn how to manage the users in the Linux. So while managing the users in the Linux, we will understand these commands for creating the users, modifying the users, and how to delete the user, how to assign the password to the user. So today we will discuss these 4 commands into the today's session. Okay, so before creating the any user into the server, we will understand what is the use of the users and groups into the Linux operating system. So users and groups are control the access to the files and resources into the Linux operating systems. For example, whenever you create the any server in any cloud or in any system, so it automatically create the one root user. Root user is nothing but the administrator user in the Linux operating system. Okay, so there are 3 kinds of user in Linux operating system. Okay, first one is the root user, second is the system user, third one is the normal user. Okay, let's understand one by one. Root user is nothing but the admin user in the Linux operating system. He can do anything in the Linux operating system. He has the full access. He can control all the resources into the Linux operating system. He can manage all resources. He can manage the processes. He can install the packages. He can create the users. He can change the passwords. He can assign any permission to the any user. He is the whole and soul of the Linux operating system. Okay, then we have the system users. System users are nothing but the users which are created by the applications. For example, you are installing any application into the Linux operating system. For example, you are installing the Apache 2 in Linux operating system. So it will create an Apache as a user in the background, and it will manage that application by that Apache user. For example, you are installing the FTP server. It will automatically create the one FTP user in the background, and that FTP user is managed by your FTP application. So means system users will be created by the your application. Whenever you install any application in your server, it automatically creates in the background. Now we will deal the normal users. Normal users are created by the root user and assigned to the someone. For example, in your organization, some people are hired by your organization, and you wanted to give the access to that person to access your server. Okay, yeah, in that case, you have to create one new user, and you have to assign the password to that new user, and you have to pass the user information to that person, that employee, right? Then only he can access to your server, right? So we will create the users for control the access and control the access to our files, control the access to our resources. Means he can access which files, he can access which resources. Based on that, we will create the user and we will give the permission to that user, right? So we will understand here how to create the users in the Linux operating system. So for practice this, you have to create any machine into the cloud or into the your server also. Okay, here I had created the one Red Hat machine in this server. For creating the user, I will use the user add command. User add. I will create one user here. Username is the RAM, for example. For creating the any user, syntax is user add and name of the user. You can give the any name. Okay, I am creating the RAM. User add RAM. So whenever it is created the RAM user. So whenever it creates a user entry will be created into the etc password file. Now you can see this entry has created into the etc password. etc password file is nothing but the database for the etc password file is nothing but database for users. Okay, whenever you create any user, this user's entry will be created into the etc password. So this entry has created when I created the RAM user. RAM user entry is created into the etc password file. So we will understand what is the meaning of this entry. Just we had created the RAM as the username or login name. Okay, X it is represented to the or password is linking to the etc password file, etc shadow file. Okay, 1003 is the our user ID. 1003 is the group ID, and /home/RAM is the home directory. And /bin/bash is the default shell assigned to RAM user. Okay, So this entry has created into the etc password file. So whenever we create the any user, these default values are assigned to the our user. Means user ID will be assigned, group ID will be assigned, home directory will be assigned, and default shell will be assigned to the our user. So these default values we get from the file is nothing but the etc login.def. So some default information has given inside the this file. We will see the information here, etc login.def defs file. Here it has some information, means it has to create the home directory, so user ID start from the 1000 to the 60,000. Normal user ID start from the 1000 to the 60,000. Okay, these information are given into the etc login.def. So we will get these default values from the login.def, or we will get into the etc default user add. This is the file where it has the default values. For example, etc default user add. This is the file location where it has contained the default values. Means here you can see it has a shell information. If default shell is the bin bash, so our user has assigned the default shell is the bin bash, right? Home directory will be created inside the /home. So this information are fetched from the etc login.def or etc default user add file. Okay, now just I had created the user, right? I don't want the default values are assigned to the my user. Okay, for example, whenever I have created the user, whenever I created the any user, it automatically create home directory into /home/directory with that username. For example, just I had created the RAM, so because of that RAM home directory has created inside the /home. So you will see that cd /home ls. Now you can see my home directory has created the here, and also you can check my user is created or not with using the id command. Also id your username. So now you can see user id is the 1003, or group id is the 1003. So this information will be given by the id command. You can check the if your user is created or not. You can check inside the etc password file, or you can check go inside the home directory, and inside that home directory your home directory is present or not. And also you can check the user is created or not using the id command also. Okay, whenever we create the one user, it automatically assign the shell also, default shell, and also it create one primary group for the user, with same name. For example, now I had created the RAM user. It also created the one primary group for the RAM user as the RAM. So this entry will be available inside the cat etc group. So in this file we can locate it our group information, etc groups. etc group has the database of groups in Linux operating system. Okay. So whenever we create the any user, it automatically assign the user ID, group ID, it automatically assign the home directory and automatically assign the default shell, and also it creates one primary group for that user. Okay. But I don't want the default values for the my user. I want to create a user with my own values. For example, now I want to create the one user. For creating the user, we have the user add command, right? I don't want to create a home directory inside the home. I want to create the home directory inside. I want to assign home directory any other directory. For example, I want to create home. For that, we have the option is the -d. We will understand the options. If we don't know the options, we will get the options using the man command or help command, right? Man user add. So now you can see here, these are the options are given by the user add command. If we use the -c, we can assign the comment. If you want to change the home directory while creating the user, you can use the --home dir, or you can use the -d. If you want to change the group ID, you can change using the -g. If you want to create the home directory or not, you can use the -m. Okay. If you want to change the any user ID, you can use the U. If you want to change the shell, you can use the S. These are some of the options which we will see one by one. Okay. Now I wanted to. So first we will understand, before creating the customized user, we will understand how the user IDs are assigned to the our users. We have the three kinds of users, right? We have the system user, we have the root user, and we have the normal user. Okay. System user ID is the 0. Root user ID is the 0. Okay. System users are started from 1 to 1000. Okay. And normal users are started from 1001 to 60,000. Because of that, we are getting the user IDs like 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, and group IDs also assigned with the same name, with the same IDs, right? So now we will create our customized user. So in the any server, we can create the minimum 59,000 users, right? With these IDs. So now I want to customize, now I want to create the one customized user. For example, I want to create the user like user1 is my username. Okay. Second, I want to create the home directory as the inside the /home/ I want to create the home directory name as dummy, and I wanted to assign the shell as the bin/bin/sh to the my user. Okay. And I want to give the comment to the user, and also I wanted to change the user ID as the 1001010, and also I want to give the GID group ID 1010, for example. with these values I want to create the my user. Okay, for creating this user we will form the command here, user add. Okay, my username is the user1, right? User1. So for changing these default options we have some options, just we had seen, right? Man, user add, they are given the different options. For D they are given the directory, right? I wanted to create a directory, my home directory, inside the slash home, and home directory name is the dummy, right? I wanted to give the user id hyphen u option is used for the change the user id. My user id is the 1010 hyphen g for assign the group id. So my group id is 1010. Okay, and my home directory is the slash home slash dummy. And also I want to give some comment. For comment we use the c. Comment is the, this is for example hr user. Right? Yeah, these are the some changes I wanted to create. So just you can copy this and run into our server. Paste it here, run it. Group 1010 does not exist. Means before creating the any user, if you want to customize that, you have to create the group first, then you have to create the user. If you want to create the customize, if you are creating the default, then it automatically create the default user. For example, I don't want to change any group information, so here I don't want to create, right? Just I want to assign. If you are not customizing any idea of your group, it automatically create. If you that group automatically creates with the default settings. If you want to change the settings of the group also, you have to create that group first, then you have to create the user. Now we can see entry inside the etc password. Now here you can see my user entry. User1 is the my username or login name. X is password is relocated to inside the etc shadow. My group id is the 101, and it is also assigned the group to the 1010 only. And comment is the, this is the hr user. Home directory is the, you see whatever I have assigned, that home directory is assigned here. And I'm not assigned any shell, so because of that it is creating the default shell. Okay, we will see another one example here. Now I would just want to create the second user. Dummy second is my home directory, and I wanted to assign the shell. But I don't want to assign the by default shell. I want to change the shell also. Bin. You can use the hyphen s for changing the shell. Bin slash sh. Okay, I wanted to create this second user. Copy it and paste it inside the your server. Okay, here hyphen has, I am by mistakenly I had given here hyphen. Now it has created. Now you can see the entry inside the etc password. See, our second user has created and shell is assigned the bin bash, right? So in this way you can manage the users. Now just I had created the user. You wanted to log in into that user. You can use the su hyphen your username. For example, user 1. So now pwd, you can check the home directory of our user using the pwd. So my home directory is the /home/dummy. Okay. Now exit. Just I had created the user, but I wanted to assign the password to my user. You can use the PASSWD and your username. For example, my username is a user1. You can give the any password here. For example, so it's assign the password to the our user. Okay. In this way, you can assign the password into the Linux operating system. Now I had created the user, but I don't want this user. I wanted to delete the user. Okay, you can use the user del your username. For example, my username is the user1. So it has deleted the user inside the server. It cat we will see the entry inside the etc password. Now you can see user1 has deleted here. We are not having the user1 entry, but whenever you use the user add for assign the password, we use the PASSWD command. Syntax is PASSWD and your username and assign any password. For deleting the user, you can use the user del command and your username. But it is removes the entry from your etc password and deleted the user. But whenever you use the user del with your username, it will not delete the home directory. Now you can see the dummy home directory is the present inside this /home directory, right? If you want to delete your home directory also, you can use the user del -r. For example, I wanted to delete the user2 now. So it will delete the home directory also. Now you can see the home directory of the user2. Dummy2 is not present here, and also you can see the entry inside the etc password. That entry also removed from the etc password. So if you want to delete the only your user, you can use the user del and your username. If you want to delete your home directory also, you can use the user del -r your username. User del -r username. It will delete the home directory also. Okay. So just we had understand the how to create the user, how to assign the password, how to delete the user. Now we will understand the how to modify the user some settings. For example, when we create the any user, right? When we, for example, we had created the user RAM user, it assigns some default settings. You wanted to change these settings after creating the your user. Now I had created the RAM user. It assigned the 1003 and 1003 user ID and group ID, and home directory has created it as the /home/ram and shell assigned to the bin bash. But you don't want the shell bin bash to the RAM user. You wanted to change the shell. So for changing the any setting into the after creating the users, you have to use the user mod command. User mod command is used for modify settings of already created user. Sometimes you get the situations, sometimes you get the scenario like your manager will become to you and he wanted to change some settings of your user. In that situation, user mod command will be help you for modifying the settings of your user. Okay, so if you don't know the options, most of the options are similar with the user add command, but if you don't know the options, you can check the options using the man user mod. This will give the loads and loads of options here. For changing the comment, you can use the -c. For if you want to change the directory, you can use the -d. If you want to change the expiry date, you can use the -e. Based on this, if you want to change the group, you want to log, those all the options are given here. Okay, you can check the user mod command with the man. Okay, now we will understand some settings, how to change some settings of the user RAM. For example, we have the RAM user into the etc password, right? This is the entry. Now I want to change the default shell of the RAM user. You can use the user mod -s for changing the shell. What shell you want to assign to the RAM user? I wanted to assign the bin sh to my RAM user and my username RAM. So now it has just changed the shell entry. You can see etc password. Now you can see the shell of RAM user is the bin sh. In this way, you can change the any settings of the user after creating the user. So command is user mod, your option, and whatever shell you want to assign, and your username. This is the example. Now we will see another one example. Cat etc password. Now you can see here RAM's home directory is the /home/RAM, but you wanted to, and user ID is the 1003 and group ID is the 1003. Now I wanted to change the user ID of the RAM. You can use the user mod -u, right? And I wanted to assign the user ID as the 1011 to my RAM user. Already used, right? 1011. I will use the 1015. And what is the username? RAM. So now in this way you can change the any setting. You can check the option using the man and you can change any setting in the Linux operating system. Okay. Cat etc password. Here you can see my user ID has the change to the 1015. So I had shown the two examples. In this way, whatever your requirement is there, you can use those options, and based on that you can change the existing user settings using the user mod command. Okay, this is about the group management in the Linux operating system. In the previous session, we had discussed about the how to create the users using the user add. We discuss about the user mod command, we discuss about the user del command, and we discuss about the how to assign the password using the password command in the Linux administration. Okay, today we will discuss about the how to create the groups, how to modify the groups, how to add the multiple users into the groups. These things we will discuss today. Okay, let's start. So when we create the user, one primary group will be created. We seen in the previous video, means when we create the, for example, we create the one demo user, so with the same name demo group will be created. This is the user, for example, and this is the group. Okay, so this is called the primary group. If you want to create the secondary group in Linux, you can use the group add command. Group add command is used for create groups in Linux. Okay, so let's see how to create the groups in the Linux. For practice this, you have to create the one Linux machine, and you can practice the user management and group management in the Linux server. Okay, for creating the user and group, you have to become the sudo user, or we have to become the root user. So I will become the root user using the sudo -i. So now I am the root user. Okay, so first of all, we will see the entries into the group folder. So whenever we create the any groups entry will be created in the etc group. Groups entry will create in etc group. User entry will be create in etc passwd file. Okay, and passwords are stored inside the in etc shadow file. Okay, so these two discussed in the previous video. Okay, now we will see when we create the group, it will create the entry inside the etc group. So now, so just I had checked the content of the our etc group. So I will add one group here, group add, and you can give the any name here. For example, I want to create the demo as a group. For creating any group, you have the syntax like group add and group name. Any name, you can give the any name. Okay, just I am creating the demo group. Okay, so now you can check the entry inside the etc group. So now you can see here our group demo group has created here. Okay, so why we create the groups? For example, you have the thousands of the users in your organization, so you cannot assign the permissions to the each and every person, right? So for example, you have the group of the people of HR, you have the group of people of the developer, you have the group of people of the QA persons, you have the group of people of the administrator people. So you have the different departments in your organizations, and based on that departments, you want to give the access permissions to the each and every users. You create the first group and you assign those permissions to that group, and whoever added in that group, he get the same permission. For example, you have the group like developer, and you have the QA group, you have the HR group, you have the sales group. These are the different groups, has a different purpose and different permissions, right? You have the accounts group, accounts. So you don't want to show the accounts related files to the sales one or HR one or a developer one, and developer don't want to share their files to the other groups. So whenever you create means in the group in these groups have the multiple users, right? User 1, user 2, and n number of people in the all the group. So you can't go and give the permission each and every group for the specific files and folders, right? So in that situation, you will create the groups, you add the peoples in that group and give the permission to the whole group. Means developer group has the permission to the some certain files. HR people have the permission to the some certain directories and files. In based on that, you can give the permissions to that group. Okay. So for creating the group, you can use the group add command. So here some of the default values are assigned to the group, right? So now you can see demo group has the ID as the 1001, right? These are assigned from the default file, but if you want to customize that, how these default entries we are discussing the user administration. You can go and watch that video if you don't understand how we are getting the default values. So now if you want to customize your group, for example, I don't want to assign the uh, group ID from 1001. If I am creating the group, so I wanted to assign the group ID is the 1010. Then how we can assign, right? If you don't know the options, you can go and check using the man command. For example, group add. So it will give the loads and loads information. If you want to change the group ID, so you can use the G. So you can go and watch these, check these options and perform your activities. Okay. Now I wanted to change the group ID while creating the one group. You can use a group add command -G. For example, my ID is the 1010. Group name is the demo. For example, I will create the sales as my group name. So now you can check that group has created or not, etc group. Now you can see group has created as a sales and assign the group ID as the 1010, right? In this way you can customize your group based on how we seen the how to customize the user, right? Based on that you can customize your group also. So in this way you can create the groups. Now we will see how to modify the groups. For example, in some scenario you have the groups already, but you want to modify some settings of that group. So on that situation, group mod command will be help you to modify the existing groups. Group mod command is used for modify existing group. Okay, now just I had created the sales group, but I had assigned the ID as the 1010. I feel it is the wrong, so then I wanted to modify that ID of the group sales. Okay, just we will see group mod -G. Then I wanted to assign the 1005 as my group ID for my sales group sales. You can give your group name. So now just we will check that is assigned or not, modified or not. Now you can see your group ID has modified. In this way you can modify your existing settings also using the group mod command. Now we seen the how to change the group ID. So if you want to change any other settings, you can go and see the options in using the man command, man group mod. So here it has given the loads and loads of options. So please use those options based on your requirement. Okay. Now another one example we will see using the group mod. For example, you had created the one group and you don't like that group name, so you wanted to change the group name. So we will see how to change the group name using the group mod command. You can use the group mod -n your new group name. For example, sales. I have given the sales. I don't like the sales. I want to give the sale only. Sale. Your existing group name. What is the existing group name? Sales, right? Now we will check the our group name has changed or not. etc group. Now you can see it has changed, right? Group name sales to sale. So in this way you can change the group name also. So these are the example for the group name modification. Okay, so in this way you can use the group mod command. So for example, you have the group and you wanted to add some users into the group. So here you can use the user mod command. If you want to add the single group into the single user into the group, you can use the user mod command. User mod command is used for modify the settings of user and also used for add the users in group. Okay, if you want to single user you want to add into the group, so you can use the user mod command. Syntax is user mod hyphen capital small a and capital G, your group name, then username. In this way you can add the single users into the your group. For example, I will create one user here. Okay, user add test is the my user. So just I had created, we will see is it created or not. Now you can see test as a user has created and also group also primary group also created using the test name. Now you can see test group has created. This is the primary group. Okay, now I wanted to add test group into the sales, test user into the sales group. For example, we will form the command here, group mod hyphen small a capital G. My group name is the sale, right? My user is the test. So this is in this way we can add the user into the group. So now we will see is it added or not. etc group. Now you can see test user is the part of the sales group. So in this way you can add the single users to the group. But if you want to add the multiple users into the group, so how we can add? First we will create the multiple users. User add test one Okay, we have the test as the user and test1 is the second user, right? So I wanted to add these two users into the demo group. Cat etc. First we will see demo group is there or not. So demo group is available. I wanted to add test and test1 user into the demo group. So first we will see, can we add using the user mod command first. Okay, we will try. We will not add using the user mod command, but we will try first. Comma test 1. User mod user test comma test1 does not exist because it is thinking it is one user. So it is showing that user is not present. Okay, so if you want to add multiple users into the group, you can use the gpassword command. gpasswd command is used for add multiple users in group, and also it is used for assign the password to the group, and also used for assign password to group. So we will see, let's see how to add the multiple users into the group. So just I had created the test1 user, right? Group. So for multiple user you can use the gpassword hyphen capital M and your username. For example, my username is the test1 test comma test1. These are the user and my group name is the demo. I wanted to add test1 test and test1 user into the demo group. So let's see, we will copy and paste in our example. Okay, now check these users are added into the group or not. So now you can see here test1 and test and test1 is part of the demo group. In this way you can add the multiple users into the group. If you want to remove the users from the group, so you can use the gpassword. Just I had added the two users into the demo group, right? Now I want to remove the one user. gpassword -d. First, which user I want to delete from that group? Test. From which group? Our demo group. So see, it is removing the user. Now you can see the here only test as the user is present. In this way you can add and remove the users from the group. For removing this one, remove the users from group. Example, this one, right? So now also we can assign the password to the group. So now gpassword to my demo group. Now you can see you can assign the group password in this way. So you can assign the password using the gpassword command. So if you want to delete the group, you can use the group del command. Group del, for example, cell as the group, cat etc group. Now you can see cell is not present, right? For assigning the password, you can use the gpassword. Assign the password to group. Example, gpassword, your group name, and give the any password. Now for removing the group, group del command is used for. Del command is used for remove the groups. You can use the group del and use your group name here. So in this way, you can add the group, you can modify the group settings, you can add the single user using the user mod command into the your group. You can add the multiple users in the group, and also you can remove the group, remove the users from the group. You can also assign the password to your group, and also we see the how to delete that group. So today we will learn the VI and VIM editor. Okay, now let's see what is meant by VI and VIM. VI and VIM is the most popular editors in the command line editors in the Linux operating system. Okay, so whenever we dealing with the file in the Linux operating system, mostly we will use the VI or VIM editor in the Linux operating system. So some of the other editors also available. Those are the nano editor, gedit editor, but mostly we will use the VI editor in the Linux operating system. Because of that, we will today learn how to deal with the VI editor in the Linux environment. Okay, first we will understand what is meant by VI. VI editor is nothing but the visual display editor. Display editor. Okay, VIM is also the same, but it is an extended version. Visual display visual display editor. Okay, with extended version. Extended. Now for VI editor is used for creating the files, updating the files, and if you want to do some changes into the files. So these are all the activities we will do into the VI editor. So VI editor has the three modes. First, VI editor has the three modes. Okay, first one is the command mode. Second one is the insert mode. Third one is the extended mode. Okay, let's understand how these modes are look like. Okay, first of all, we will understand how to create the files in using the VI editor in the, for example, VI demo is my file. I'm creating the demo file. If demo file is not exist into the your current folder, it will create the file. If your demo folder is already exist, it will open for the edit your file. Okay, I'm not having the any demo file here. You can see, is there any demo file is present inside my current directory? No, right? So because of that, I will create the one demo folder, vi demo. You can give the any file name. For example, for creating the file, you can use the vi and file name here, any file name. Okay, so here you can see it is the new file. When it comes to new, means it is a new file. If it is already exists, it will not give as a new. So these are the tilde symbol. Tilde symbol means unused lines. If you are seeing any tilde symbol into the v editor, this is nothing but the unused lines. Now if you want to insert some data, this is when you create the file, this is in the command mode. When you create a file and insert in open that file, it will be available into the command mode. If you want to insert some data, you have to go inside the insert mode. So for go to the insert mode, you have to use the I for go to the insert mode. Okay, I for insert mode. Okay, now when you press the enter, it will go inside the insert mode and it is showing here as a insert. Now you can enter the any data. This is demo file. Now you had enter some data into the file. You want to save and exit. For save and exit, you have to go to the extended mode. Go to the extended mode, you have to use the escape. For save and exit, you first press the escape, then colon, then you can use the WQ for write and quit. Okay, now we will see data is present inside my file or not. See, my whatever I have written into the my file, that data is displaying while displaying the data using the cat command. Okay, now here for insert we use the I. After insert the data, we use the WQ for save and exit. Okay, this is for save and exit. W for write. Q for quit. Okay, now I will go inside my file demo. I will insert some line now. This is second line, but I thought this is not correct. So I don't want to save this data into my file. I want to save exit the file without saving any data. If you want to exit without saving any data, you can use the escape colon q enter. It will not allow, means it will not quit the when you writing the data. So it is we have to be close this forcefully. So you can use the escape colon q exclamatory. So it will close your file without saving forcefully. If you want to say, exit with forcefully, you can use the q exclamatory. Quit forcefully. Okay, now you enter inside the file. You did some changes. For example, I will do some changes. Second line, and you want to save and exit forcefully. Press escape colon WQ exclamatory. Exclamatory will help you to save and exit the forcefully. Now you can see it is exited the forcefully. Okay, WQ exclamatory means save and exit forcefully. Okay, vi demo. Now For example, you are here at the first line of your file, and you want to the end of the line. You want to add some content at the end of your line. So you can use the Shift A. When you press the Shift A, it will go to the at the end of the line. Cursor will go to the at the end of the line. Shift plus A. Cursor move to end of line. Okay. Now your cursor is the end of line, and you want to the insert the data at the beginning of the line. You can use the escape, and you can use the Shift I. Shift I will take you to the beginning of the line. Shift plus I. It will take you to beginning of the line. Okay. If you want to data at the beginning, if you want to insert some data at the beginning of the line, it will take you to the beginning of the line. Now you are at the first line, and you want to insert the data below the cursor line. For example, you can use the O for the below the cursor line. Now you are present at the first line, but you want to the enter the data at the second line. So you can press the O, small o. Small o will help you to, it will allow you to insert data below the line. Okay. Now, for example, you are at the second line, and you want to insert the data at the above the line. So you can use the Shift O. Shift O will take you to Shift plus O. It will allow you to insert the data above the line, above the cursor line. Okay. For example, you are the here, and you want to move cursor backward, forward, up and right. For example, you can use the H for left. Press escape. H for left. If you want to go to the left one key character, you can use the H. If you want to go one character forward, you can use the L. And if you want to go up, you can use the K. If you want to go down, you can use the J. These keys will help you to move up, down, backward and forward. Okay. So now H for move backward, one character. Okay. Then L for move one character forward. If you want to go up, you can use the K. K for up. And if you want to go down, you can use the J for down the line. Okay. These are some of the options. If you are not having the cursor, if you are not having the allow the arrow marks, in that situation you will use the H, L, K, J for moving your cursor forward, backward, up and down. Okay. Now I will copy this data into my file, and I will show you some options. paste the data here. So now we have the some data for play the v editor. Okay, if you want to set the line number into the v editor, you can use the s set nu. So it will set the line number into your file. Okay, now I wanted to copy the first line and paste into the at the end. For copy you can use the yy, and if you want to go to the end of the line, end of the file, you can use the shift G, and I want to paste my copied line into the end of the file. For paste it you can use the P. For example, here we understand now. For copy we use the yy, copy the line. For paste you can use the P, paste where your cursor. Okay, if you want to go at the end of the file, you can use the shift plus G, go to end of file. Okay, now you are the end of the line. Okay, if you want to go to the beginning of the line, save and exit. Okay, now we see the how to copy and paste into the file. Now I want to delete the some line. For example, I wanted to do this line. You can use the DD for delete the line. For delete the line, you can use the DD option. DD for delete the line. Okay, now we had copying the one line and deleting the one line. But if I want to copy the multiple lines, for example, I want to copy the 5 lines from here, you can use the 5 YY. So here it is showing the 5 lines yanked means copied, and wherever you want to paste it, you can go there and you can press the P. For copy the number of line, you can use the number, for example 5 YY. It will copy 5 lines. Okay, if you want to delete the lines also, same way you can use the, for example 5 DD. It will delete the number of lines. Now you are at your file and you want to search something into your file, you can use the slash, and whatever keyword you want to search, you can use that keyword. For example, I want to search the modes, so it is showing the modes. For example, I want to search the exit, slash exit, so it is searching the keyword exit into the file. If you want to search any keyword into the file, you can use the slash that word. Okay, now exit from the file. Now for save and exit, we use the W and Q, right? Another option is there for save and exit. Press escape colon X. X also will help you to save and exit. For save and exit, shift press escape colon X. This is also for save and exit. Okay. Now I'm exited from my file. Okay. For example, you have the two files and you want to open in the single command. For example, now I have the demo and also I have the test, right? Can we open with this? No, it is opening only demo. How we can open that file? In the single command. Okay, if we want to open both the files at the same time, you can use the -o option here. See, demo file and test file, both our files are displaying here. If you want to quit, you can. If you want to switch from one file to another file, you can use the Control W. You can see Control W. Okay. So these are some of the useful options in the VI editor. Please go and practice in your Linux environment. This will help you while working with the files, and it will help you to work quickly in the while handling the files in the configuration files in the servers. So thank you for listening this